Okay, let's do some sports talk. It's a lot of movement happening in college basketball right now. Let's break it down and have a little bit of conversation. First, let's talk some numbers. For men's basketball, okay, as of today, which is the 10th of April, we have 1,967 men who have entered the basketball portal, and we have 1,667 that are still available across all conferences, all divisions. So that's about a 15% uptick rate in terms of folks that have been taken and have facilitated a transfer. 15%, all divisions, all levels. Now, On3.com reports across 13 divisions or conferences, and so their numbers are better. They show an uptick of about 25% across about 947 men that have entered the portal. Now, with respect to the women, about 160 basketball athletes have entered the portal, and about 15% of those have committed to new institutions. So less than 30, okay, of the 160 or so. So there's still time because the portal's still open, but the uptake has been, so the uptake continues. We'll see how it ends up. Now, it's important to note that the basketball portal is for 30 days, and it runs from March 24th to April 22nd. So at April 10th, there are 12 days left for action to happen. Now, we also know that the closure of the portal, at least in football, stopped nothing. Okay. So we will see how long it takes for some of these deals to get done and what the ultimate numbers look like. Now, recall the last numbers reported by the NCAA suggested that 70% of athletes, of basketball athletes who entered the portal across D1, okay, were successful in finding new homes. However, what I call a win is you end up better off than where you were, okay? Meaning, or no less worse off, right? Meaning that you transfer, you end up with a scholarship that was just as rich as what you left. So, of those athletes, D1 athletes that entered the basketball portal last year, only 50% of those ended up no less worse off. Okay? So, 50% ended up with no scholarship, less scholarship, okay? Just worse off positionally. Notwithstanding all the conversation about dollars and collectives and NIL, etc., they did not end up in a better spot. Okay, so now, in October 2024, the NCAA D1 Council shortened the portal windows from 45 days to 30 days. Basketball only has one 30-day window. Football has two windows. The first window is in the fall and is 20 days. That's the December portal, okay? And then there's 10 days in the spring. So the football portal is going to open up again on April 16th and run through the 25th, okay? So everyone is excited about, potential to make a lot of money. Some people will do well, some people will not. Let's talk about all the movement that's happening, because there's so many different folks in play right now that there is more supply than there is demand, meaning there are more athletes looking for D1 opportunities, full scholarships, etc., than there are slots. That's why there are losers. Okay, so first, what's happening? JUCO. Now JUCO is, getting some mojo, right? People are talking about JUCO as a reasonable place for you to start your career, etc. We can deal with that later. What is true is now they get an additional year of eligibility. So you have JUCO players now more aggressively trying to get into D1, either Group of 5 or Power 4. Okay, so you got those guys, men and women. Okay, you have NAIA athletes who have now the same ability. They get an extra year to move into Group of 5, Power 4. You have high school players, okay, that are looking for opportunities at the D1 level. You have existing D1 players, okay, that are attempting to either move up, okay, or move laterally, or just move, okay? And you have D2 players that are trying to move up to D1. So there's all this movement, primarily, in my unexamined opinion, because people are chasing dollars, okay, or what they perceive as more opportunity. Okay, so we need to understand that many people will win. You'll have plenty of athletes that transfer as part, they get rich new deals coming out of the collectives, okay, and they end up fine, okay, but you're going to have a lot of losers, people who are not going to be better off by having made that decision, because either they don't get picked up at all, so they're sitting on mama's couch, okay, or they get picked up but under less favorable terms than what they left. So that's the admonition to athletes, to be careful that you know some potential places that you're landing, and you believe that the opportunity that you are looking for is going to be richer than the one that you had or you currently have, because that's the mistake when you get 50% who are no better off by having made the move and could in many cases be worse off. So I'll stop there. I'm going to come back and have a conversation with you about the House versus NCAA settlement, because it's a lot going on there. But that's enough for this one. And as always, let me know what you think.